Today we're going to see how a car is made, shall we? We came to Sorocaba in the countryside of São Paulo to visit the Toyota factory. This is where they make the Corolla Cross. It is a hybrid vehicle that combines an electric motor and combustion and takes advantage of the best of each technology to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, being a practical and efficient car drivers. The Corolla Cross is within the category of electrified cars. But unlike 100% electric cars, this hybrid does not recharge the battery at the outlet. It produces the electric energy it will use itself. Before entering the factory, it's noteworthy that next door is a huge industrial park with companies making parts for Toyota's cars, including seats, suspension, metal parts, and bumpers. This allows the Toyota factory to maintain a leaner parts inventory. An internal avenue connects the factories with constant parts transportation. The engines come from Toyota's factory in Porto Feliz, about 18.64 miles away. Inside here, a ready car comes out every 108 seconds. All of this thanks to the Toyota production system. Toyota's system is so important that you may have already learned about it in school under the name of just-in-time. It's a type of production that doesn't work with inventory. The parts are made as per the assembly line's demand. Here, 430 vehicles are being produced at the same time, each at a different stage. In a day, they make 660 cars. The parts for each one are already entering the line in the right place and correct order. The car starts to be produced here in these stacked steel plates. They will be shaped by 4 presses. These are very strong machines that press the plate until it takes the desired shape. They make a certain amount, then they change the mold to make the other cars. This is the only sector of the factory that has stock, but it only lasts 4 hours. The next sector, which is the bodywork sector, determines how many pieces need to be produced. Following the Toyota production system, this information comes through colored cards. Here we can see each stage of the press. It enters smooth, and as the machines go pressing, each fold is being formed. There are 73 plates per car. The ones who put one thing to another are robots who work on the bodywork line. And here their work is impressive. There are about 3,000 welding points. You might have imagined that there would be a production line for each car model here. One for the Yaris hatch, another for the sedan, another for the Corolla Cross. But no, it's just one line where they all go through, all mixed up. The robots handle everything, including colors, configurations, and options, so they know how to work. The robots read it to know how to work. The chassis number is recorded in the body shop using a small press. In the end, it already looks like a car, but there's still a lot to do. To enter the paint department, I have to change clothes, wash my shoes, and go through a wine booth. Because in here, a grain of dust can already mess up the finish. The body goes through several washes to be free of grease or any other dirt. Next, it receives a treatment against oxidation, which is done in this pool. Here, the paint receives a positive charge and the car a negative one. Then the two become statically charged and attract each other. The bottom of the car receives a plastic protection, which they call a stone guard, that protects against stones or any other more violent scrape. Then, a sealant is applied to the joints of the plates to prevent water infiltration. And now the final stage begins. A coat of primer so that the surface is very uniform, the color, and then the varnish. Here there is no pool, the liquid paint is sprayed on, but it is also electrostatic. It and the metal attract each other electrically, and this ensures that no little crack will be left without paint. And the last step will be to go through an oven at 120 degrees for 40 minutes. Almost done, correct? Because after that they do an inspection that you can't even begin to imagine. Look at this beautiful room. As you might have guessed, the next step after painting is to remove the doors. It may seem strange, but this is done to make it easy to put everything that goes inside the car. The doors follow a parallel line and will meet exactly with the car from which they were taken further ahead. You know that line-following robot that people make for college work? Here the game is taken seriously. Look at the number of autonomous cars carrying things behind me. And finally came the part of fitting all the pieces into the car as if it were a Lego. You must be seeing that here on the line there are several different cars being made at the same time. It's like each order from a restaurant. There's a sheet with the car's specifications, and there it says what finish will be used, what the sound system is, whether it has a sunroof or not. And it's crazy that it's all organized. Despite various models, everything arrives in the right order for assembly. And of everything that gets attached to the chassis, like the engines, and of the final finishes. What we are seeing now is the upholstery. At this stage, the lining is put on the ceiling and floor, and it's also here that the electrical harness is installed, which are these bunch of cables that will interconnect all the electronic equipment. And in the case of the Corolla Cross, which is one of the stars of our video, this is where the battery of the electric motor is installed. It goes under the rear seat and is made up of 28 modules, each of which has 6 cells of 1.2 volts. They are connected in series reaching 200 volts. And the battery is relatively small. It doesn't need to have such a large range because it can be charged at any time. And when we use the material we use to make a battery for a 100% electric vehicle, we could make 90 of these. While the car is being assembled on the main line, there is a subline here for the assembly of the engines. The engine arrives without several components and they keep adding everything, all the parts, until it's time for it to go up to the car. When it's all ready, it just fits right in. One thing that's cool to see is that at the beginning of the video, when we saw several robots welding there, you could get the impression that almost no one works here, but it's not like that. But there's also a very cool integration of humans and robots. The people here at the factory are fundamental, but there's one thing: we don't see anyone running. Everything is very synchronized. When it leaves one sector, the next is already waiting. Even the coffee break is arranged, the screen comes up and everyone stops at the same time. And they have constant safety trainings. That's why every employee has the power to stop the production line if they see something wrong. The trainings occur in the dojos, located at the factory's mezzanine. The tools, for example, are painted green where you can place your hand and red where you can't. The safety culture is so strong that even to cross the street there is a rule, which is the Yoshi Yoshi. If you point to one side, you say Yoshi, point to the other, you say Yoshi. If it's not everywhere to confirm an operation, to pass a heavy piece, that's what ensures standardization and quality in work. In fact, they change roles over time to ensure quality at work. So as not to get tired and start doing things without thinking. The hybrid engine will also come into play at this stage. It's neat that this hybrid concept has existed for a while, and it was Toyota who started this with the Prius back in 1997. The name Prius originates from Latin, meaning first. The idea of the hybrid is to take advantage of energy in a much better way, mixing the combustion engine with the electric ones. If you had X-ray vision and could look inside the hood of the Corolla Cross, what you would see is this here. In addition to the combustion engine, you have two electric ones, the M-Gon and the MG2. The one that can provide traction to the car's wheels, really pull, is this one here. It will come into action at low speeds, up to about 24.85 miles per hour. The car always starts only on electric, in silence. We need to start the combustion engine first. And it's the M-Gon that will serve as a starter motor, to start the combustion engine. But after that it starts to function as a generator. So at every moment when the combustion engine is on, the M-Gon is generating energy and sending it to the battery. From that moment on, the car's electronic control will decide whether the combustion engine works alone or in conjunction with the MG2. But there's one more thing: every time you brake the car, this energy that we normally throw away in the form of heat rubbing the pads on the disc will be reused. This car uses regenerative braking. The moment you step on the brake, the traction of the tires will make these electric motors spin, which will function as a generator, and generators brake. In short, when you're driving, every little brake you apply, you're returning energy to the battery, you're recharging the battery. In all that I've said, there are two important things. This car never needs plugging in as the battery is constantly recharged. Secondly, the car performs the engine exchange automatically without requiring any input from the driver. This is one of Toyota's concerns, and the great thing about hybrid vehicles, making the driver's life easier by being simple and practical. Toyota is making these new vehicles more efficient with less carbon emission, but for the driver it works exactly the same way, both for driving and for refueling. It's almost ready. There's not much left to do. Here are the final items: seat, glass, bumper, wheel. Remember the doors? Here they are placed back in the car again. And now it's ready with glass handle and all the finishing. We're nearing the end. The final step is checking the car's fluids. Radiator, oil, and gasoline. In the end, the cars will go through a strict inspection before they are approved. Some items are checked by eye, including going through a booth with a lot of light to catch all the details. Check for water leaks during a heavy shower. Failed ones undergo new inspections to fix issues. Exported units receive a protective film to prevent oxidation during naval transport. The car's ready. Shall we drive it? Oh, how delightful. This here is Toyota's test track. Nothing like testing a car to see how it manages energy. It tells me this on the dashboard, okay? So, I don't need to start it. Electric doesn't start. You just step on the accelerator and it goes off quietly. Look at that, how cool. It's already draining the battery. It's normal. The battery is being used to deplete itself. Normal, right? It's using the battery to move. Right now, it's practically silent. When I exceed a certain speed, the combustion engine will kick in along with the electric one. You see there, the yellow and the red working. From a certain speed, only the combustion engine works. It drives the car and charges the battery at the same time. The cool thing about the test track is that the maximum speed is 87 miles per hour. We not only it turns blue, this means that the energy is coming only. It turns blue. This means that the energy is coming from the wheels to the battery. The regenerative brake is being used. So at this moment, the battery is charging. I'm not accelerating. Braking all the time. The energy is going back to the battery. Look how cool this is. When I'm not doing anything, I don't step on either the accelerator or the brake. The car takes advantage of this momentum to charge the battery. And now, once again, I go out on electric, combustion comes in and so on. All of this makes the car not only very quiet, pleasant to drive because you always go out with the electric, but also a very economical car. Every moment I store energy to use later is energy that I would be wasting. You know that at Bodywork we like to bring you things that no one has access to. So I'm going to show you another very special car. This one here is one of the first Corollas from 1968. One of the cars that started the world's best-selling vehicle for the family. But the surprise wasn't that. Have you heard of the hydrogen-powered car? This is it, look, the Mirai. It's a heck of a promise for the future, because the pollution it releases, do you know what it is? Water. It uses a technology called fuel cell. Inside, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form electrical energy and water. This electrical energy is used to power its electric motors. The challenge is to be able to produce this hydrogen without harming the environment. The easiest way to do this is through electrolysis, which is to separate water, which is H2O, into hydrogen and oxygen. But this requires electricity, and if this electricity comes from a solar or wind power plant, it becomes a clean energy source. Every 62 miles it releases 0.26 gallons of water through the exhaust. That is, this car doesn't even have an exhaust. It stores this water in the reservoir, and when it fills up, it's nice to see how a car is built, to see it's possible. It shows that Toyota, which has already manufactured such emblematic cars, is concerned with producing modern vehicles and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And not only that, a comfortable car that doesn't need a plug to charge and can use the network of stations that we already have available all over Brazil.